What's up? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Après Steep on the Nick and Mitch Network. This week, of course, we have all of our Steep and Riders Republic news up front. And this week's main topic, we are dipping back into the topic suggestion tab on our Discord server to answer a question that Sofex posed a couple of months back, but it's golden. It's going to be a great main topic. We can't wait to get to it. We'll see you there. This is Après Steep, episode 18.
The real Steep finals are this weekend, unless something terrible happens.
Wait. Yeah, why did you write that in? Unless something terrible happens? What do you think is going to happen?
Nothing's going to happen. I mean, we have it all scheduled out. We've got plenty of time to do it, unless something happens.
There it is. You just did it again. What? Is something going to happen that you know about that the rest of us don't?
No, I guess you can just never know what's going to happen. But the plan is to have Real Steep Finals this weekend on Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern. If that changes for any reason, we'll of course post about it in our Discord server.
Okay, someone keep an eye on Mitch this week. More Tartiflette Games news. Backcountry Brawl submissions are now open, and those rules are posted both on our website, nickandmitch.com, and the YouTube page. That event will be taking place at the Rutsutsu Snow Park in Sapporo, Japan, and those entries are due by May 2nd. So if you are still looking to participate in this event but haven't submitted yet, get after it today. Get it in as soon as humanly possible. This, of course, is going to be that live streamed event that we've been talking about. We can't wait to get to it, and we hope that you will be a part of it. So get your submissions in. Don't wait. We'll see you there.
Speaking of competitions to enter Shred This Spot 7 is taking place at BA in Japan.
Yeah, the folks over at Shred This Spot decided to mix it up this time with the locations. I mean, obviously, we've seen events in Kitchik. We've done the whole American urban thing. We've done the backcountry. And of course, we've had some massive sends. But now it's time to see what Yins can do in a tiny Japanese village. This one is a challenge like none before. The creativity is going to have to be off the walls.
Very excited to see this event, and your submissions will be due Thursday, May 13th, so get cracking. Also, congrats to the winners of Shred the Spot 6, Steps taking home the victory, and the best trick going to Pancakes.
You got that pancake?
Pancakes.
Oh, look at that. Phone call from Mitch coming in.
Hey, bud.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
We need to record Bone Crusher 2D's thing. Do you want to do it, or do you want me to?
Hang on. I have it pulled up right here. Yeah, let's just do it together.
Okay.
Hey, bud. You should check out Bone Crusher 2D's channels. He was the Steep Grand Finalist and the winner of the Downhill in the Olympic competition. He is an incredible record chaser, and he's on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. His links are down below. Sweet. See ya. All right, bud, we dipped our hand back into the topic suggestion tab over on our Discord and pulled this one out from Sofex. I absolutely loved this question and just forgot to bring it up for a main topic. I mean, we've had some pretty decent main topics, but this week I know we had nothing, and thank God Sofex was there to save us.
Yeah, his idea, this was a question that he had. And he asked, what role do you think big brands play in promoting these sports games to a wider audience? Do we think that the inclusion of brands like Red Bull, GoPro, X Games in these games is a good thing? Or do we think that it provides unfair advertising for them compared to other competing brands? He's talking about Monster, Rockstar, other events. Doesn't know if we like the idea or not, but it popped into his head. And I do love this idea. I had a few ideas when I first read this one.
Yeah, so I think we start this right at the beginning and just break it down sentence by sentence, or question by question, rather. So what role do you think big brands play in promoting these sports games to a wider audience? Do you think that having these brands in here, so let's focus in on GoPro. Do you think having GoPro in Steep makes Steep more widely known to a wider audience because GoPro is in this game?
I don't remember way back to when the game was being marketed, but I do feel like, it advertised it to some people. I'm sure they had some posts that explained that the game was coming out, that GoPro was in it. I was a fan of it. I know people didn't like the first-person camera being GoPro because it was really shaky. I liked it from the standpoint of it being realistic when you were doing edits and posting videos, but
yeah, well, that was the thing back then, is GoPros were super shaky, and like you said, you had all of that rattling, you had all of that clicking, and now that they have advanced so far into the future with the stabilization, the onboard stabilization, and all of that rattling has just been stopped, it really got old really quick because GoPro moved so quickly. But I don't really know if having the GoPro in the game, seeing that logo in the game, made other people come and play Steep. I don't think someone saw a screenshot of somebody's parachute with the GoPro logo on it on Instagram or wherever and said, wow, I need to play that game because I can use a GoPro, or the Red Bull helicopter drops me off at the top of the mountain. I don't think the integration of the brands made it as big of an issue or as a big of a feature as we might think. They weren't featured, they weren't focused on. It might be different if you have like a Burton snowboard or something and there's a whole storyline that Burton comes up with, but for just a Red Bull helicopter and a GoPro on your helmet, I don't think that brought anybody else to the game.
Yeah, I don't think these brands are doing too much with the games in general. When Red Bull Line Catcher in real life was happening, if they also posted that if you play Steep and you film a line catcher, they're going to do a competition at the same time, then you might start seeing people cross over between the two. Whether you have people watching the regular skiing event being like, oh, I can play that in a game, I'll buy it. And then you have people who are just playing Steep and not aware that that's a real event, saying, oh, I can enter this competition, and then I'm going to watch the live event.
Yeah, and I also think it is crucial at that point. If you have, for Riders Republic, if we have a Red Bull Joyride in the game and in real life, at the real life event, you need to be showing footage from Riders Republic. At any Red Bull crossover event that's happening in-game and in person, you need to be showing both sides of that coin and sharing in the magic from both ends. We do a ton of stuff over in Steep, but the real life community just doesn't see it because it doesn't have a platform to stand on. And that's why I'm kind of calling out Red Bull a whole lot here, because they do a lot with esports. And it seems kind of lacking right now that they have all of this notoriety in Steep. And as we've seen from the trailers in Riders Republic, but it doesn't seem like they're doing too much to kind of bring these two things together to create an esports tournament. Or like, what was it? Spider? The company Spider did a contest in Steep at one point and you could win a watch? Am I remembering that correctly?
There was some company that did that. And yeah, I think that's where you might see some really good opportunities too. We talked about photo contests. Like I loved the advertisement one we did where you could take a picture on your K2 board, try to make an ad. If K2 runs that as a competition, they're going to get a bunch of cool pictures from the game.
Right.
And then they can pick someone to win some K2 merch, but then post that to their thing. The thing gets people interested in the game, and it just kind of feeds into each other.
Right. That's exactly right. Even if K2 isn't running an event where they put this up on a Jumbotron and they say, look at all the great work that they're doing over here in Steep, they can run an Instagram story that is, well, we had a contest in this video game, shout out to Steep, shout out Ubisoft, ran a contest, here are the best pictures, we need you, the community, on Instagram, full of real life riders and video game riders alike, to pick your favorites, and whoever wins this is getting a kit, is getting a K2 snowboard or whatever, and then we're also going to give another one away to someone who voted in the contest. It's just easy, simple marketing. It feels like these brands were kind of just dumped in the game, and then the brands forgot that they were in the game. So moving forward, and not just this, but in tons of different genres, there are real life brands in games. I would love to see those brands interact with those games to keep it active, to keep it fresh, because right now it feels like an old billboard that's just on the side of the highway. You've passed it for the last 10 years, you know that it's there, you expect it, and it does nothing. But that one day where it changes, that you will be thinking about that for the rest of your day. When you pass that billboard that you've seen for the past 10 years, and it's a Red Bull sticker, and suddenly it's GoPro, or it's Rockstar Energy, or something like that. You will notice those changes. So I really think that these brands can step it up in the smallest way, and it will make a huge impact on these games and the communities.
And that's also something that Ubisoft can really push more, because they're the ones that are going to have to kind of create those things in the first place. I don't see a lot of the brands kind of chasing after these competitions in the game, but if Ubisoft can say, hey, we want to do a Red Bull event that we're going to post, we know this many people are going to enter, it's going to get this many views if it's on like this channel, do you want to be a part of that? And at that point, that's when Red Bull might say, you know what, yeah, we can work together. If it's going to be on Ubisoft's channel, it's going to get, a ton of views or a ton of entries and expose our brand.
Right. Or one of these companies like Red Bull hits up a Steep, hits up a Nick and Mitch and says, hey, we want you to curate this. Steep just did a wonderful exposition on Audi 9s, having a company pull him on board and says, hey, what good design looks like. Why don't you design us a park on paper? And if we like it, we'll take it to Ubisoft. And then, there's money transactions and all that in the background that we don't need to be a part of. But there are community members at their disposal that would not only host and run these events, but may also have a hand in designing lines and kind of teching this and figuring it all out. I think it's a little late to do this in Steep. But moving towards Riders Republic, depending on how heavily brand recognition is a feature in that game, it'll be interesting to see how we could implement something like this. For Red Bull to say, hey, we want an event, give me 5 ideas, and then we'll try to pick one of those and run with it. I think that would be awesome. And again, it's just easy marketing for not only their socials, but non-real life riders who might buy some merch, might buy some swag. They don't have to be professional skiers or snowboarders to understand that brand is cool because they're paying attention to a video game that they like. Sorry, I've been going off. This is all marketing. This makes my toes tingle.
Well, since you know all about marketing, the second part of his question, he was asking if there's any sort of unfair advantage by having certain brands in the game compared to others. So when he expanded on it, he means like if Red Bull sponsors the game, is there something that prevents Monster from also sponsoring the game? Because in real life, Monster is one of the bigger sponsors of the X Games, but they weren't anywhere in Steep or in the Steep Park. Not that Red Bull was either, but they were already in the game.
I mean, this one was interesting, and it forced me to sit back and think about it for a second. I don't think there's a clause saying that they can't both be there at the same time. So, let's stick with Red Bull and Monster Energy. I don't think that Red Bull signed a contract or Ubisoft said something that is on the lines of, okay, Red Bull is the only energy drink that will be featured in Steep. If Monster Energy even so much as looks at the game, we will sue them. None of that happened. What I think happened in Steep is the saturation of the marketing was very shallow. I just don't think they looked that deep into it to say, oh, at the X Games Park, we are going to have Monster Energy and pitch it to Monster to get them to sign on as a sponsor for just that one tiny little park in this video game. I think they just said, hey, Red Bull's on this. We're not going to look any further into that. They were the first ones that bought in. It's in the game. That's fine. But I don't think that there was anything that said, Red Bull is the exclusive and we can't add anything else in there. It's a little different with a video game than a real life event where you could switch out a poster that says Red Bull for one that says Monster Energy if they pay more for that spot, right? You have to go in and recode all of those images and everything from Red Bull to Monster's Energy. So yeah, I just think that they didn't hammer home sponsorships as well and as intricately as we might have thought. it kind of takes you out of the realism. But yeah, I think that's the reality of it, is they got a couple big name sponsors and said, cool, we're fine with that, and they just rolled with it.
Yeah, and I mean, X Games wasn't on the original agenda for Steep.
True.
So when this game was designed around European mountains and European competitions, I'm not too familiar, but I think Red Bull's way bigger over there than Monster. So it probably just had to do with Red Bull just being more prominent in the winter sports. Monster, from what I know, is more prevalent in summer sports like skiing and biking. But yeah, I don't think there's anything locking one sponsor out for another. Like when we've run some events in like my work, you just put up packages like the platinum sponsor package, the gold sponsor package, and all three of the main competitors are all platinum sponsors. You're not blocking one out because another one paid. You just take everyone's money. But there can be some things that can be blocked when you get to certain events like the Olympics or the X Games. They could probably try to control what sponsors are shown in their location.
Yeah.
But they can't control the rest of the game. So like X Games could probably, like when they signed on to Steep, to Riders Republic, they can probably say we can't have any Red Bull sponsoring near our signs because we can't have any pictures online that show the X Games and Red Bull when we're not officially sponsoring together. And in that case, they just don't put any sponsors in that area.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I was going to say. And instead of saying, hey, we're not a Red Bull family over here at X Games, we are a Monster Energy family at X Games, they just wouldn't put that other brand in there. They wouldn't go through the hassle of trying to get that other brand in there just to do it. Yeah, there's no clause, but I do know from real life experience with marketing and certain things like this, if I have a gas station that's trying to promote something on one of my events, and another gas station wants to promote that same event, typically one of them will just back off because it's not a good look to have both of your brands on the same thing. You want to try and stay as exclusive as possible. And that's where I think, the fight between like, why don't we see more brands like more Monster Energies, Rockstar Energy, and Red Bull in there? It's just because those other brands probably saw that Red Bull had this game and said, okay, that's cool. Let's go and try and get another video game. I mean, I know darn well that I play a ton of Monster Energy Motocross, one of the free PS Plus games that was out last year.
I was just going to mention that one.
Yeah, they saw Steep and they said, nah, that's cool. We're just going to go put our logo on a dirt bike game. So it's just kind of yes and no. Yes, it's part of the contracts. No, it's not part of the contracts. Sometimes it is just marketing and goodwill and good spirit. Why try to fight to get into the door of Steep when Red Bull is clearly already in there? We're just going to go find another game and do it there. It's kind of a lackluster ending to that whole conversation, but like I told you, this is making my toes tingle. I absolutely love that we've been talking about marketing for the past 21 minutes. Oh, God.
Well, if you guys really, really want more, I'm sure we could easily get Nick to do a 3, 4, 5, 8 hour live stream about marketing and sponsorship, and we could do a ton of speculation. But for now, it might be about time to move over to the Riders Roundup.
Yes, please. Over in Riders Republic, if they want to, go snow park by snow park and bring in different brands for each one of them, it's going to be a lot of...
Focus.
Sorry.
Weekly challenge time. This week's theme was Tyrol, one of the other mountains in Steep. So I'll let you pick first again, Nick. What's your favorite?
Again, only 2 people submitting. It's fine. They're both just incredible artists in their own craft. This week I'm going to have to go with Flair. Absolutely in love with some of this work that he's been doing. I just love all of the different layers that he's been putting into his photos. It's not just a straight picture that you kind of threw a little filter over top of. He's going in, you see the top left with his name there, just hiding out in the corner on whatever that is. Maybe it's a mountain on its side. But then you have the faction skis highlighted, just like the moon, almost giving the moonlight in this picture. And then, of course, faction down on the bottom there in red. This is just awesome. There's a ton to look at here, and I just love this combined digital art experience. I don't know. It's really cool. And what about you? Are you picking your own, or are you picking one from Sofx?
Well, I'm always pretty partial to my own, but I'm going to go with one from Sofx. I like the shot of the guy walking on the ridge of the mountain with the footsteps and the sun setting in the back. You know, just nice symmetry in the photo, and then just screams the emotion of climbing back up, getting that one more run before it's nighttime.
Yeah, and I want to point out here that Sofx also featured Faction on this mountain. He also submitted a picture that had the Faction logo separate, almost like our advertisements weekly challenge that we had a couple of weeks back. Did he submit that for advertisements and just resubmit for this? Or am I crazy?
No, I don't remember seeing that one, so I think he's just working on all different aspects, getting the ads, getting the location, getting it all.
Super cool that both guys, both Flair and Sofx, came out with some Faction pictures this week on that mountain. Who knows? Maybe that mountain is sponsored by Faction. Faction, go ski Tyrol. That was a free ad right there if you didn't catch it. Marketing! What do we have up next?
Up next, we'll continue the mountain tour and go with Mont Blanc in the Alps. So again, I will post the link. It'll be in the description of this video, and also in our Discord server, we have the weekly challenge submissions tab with links to all of the past albums.
Thank you as always to everyone who submitted for the weekly challenge, and thank you for considering shredding down Mont Blanc for some sexy pictures for us next week. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Up next in the Roundup, Strenio has finally released their big project after around 5 months of preparation and construction to getting this thing to where it is today. Strenio is proud to release their full-length feature film in Steep, and it is a masterpiece, a true labor of love. I'm not even going to speak on any part of characters because you just have to go and experience it for yourself. I don't want to hype it. I don't want to set the bar too low. I don't want to do anything. You just have to go and watch it. It's gorgeous. I love it. I felt it in my heart. Just wonderful job, Strenio. Holy crap, this one is huge.
Next up, we have a recreation, a shot-for-shot recreation, in fact, from Unpen, and it is of Alex Hall's Real Ski video. This must have taken a ton of effort. I think I saw him in Discord talking several times that he was trying to nail down certain shots, but highly recommend giving this a watch. I even just watched them side by side to see. I mean, he hit almost all of these tricks perfectly. I love this.
Man, Unpen with those recreations. Just can't get any better than that. Speaking about shooting for the stars, I don't know if you saw this week, but Steep was mentioned, called out by the X Games for his video that he released, trying to commentate real mountain bike. And just a wonderful video. Go and check that one out. Always cool to see the Steep creators, the Steep community get noticed by the big dogs out there.
And keeping it in the world of Steep, my jaw dropped when I saw this video going up on YouTube. He just posted a 23-minute interview with Andre Rigetli himself, one of the most well-known skiers out there. So just so awesome to see him being able to sit down and talk with one of the pros.
Yeah, man, that kid is making moves, like serious moves. Like, we need to start talking about him more so that he remembers us when he gets big and famous. So like, Nick, please hire us. Nick, please hire both of us. You know, we know that you're running X Games and Red Bull events, and you're Andre's agent and all that now, but just help it. Oh, you're running ESPN now too. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Cool. Well, do you remember us? We featured you in one of our videos a couple years back. No, okay. All right. We'll talk to you later, Nick. We'll see you. Yeah, we can't let that happen.
Well, I think Nick's officially lost his marbles again, so it's about time to call it for this week. But remember, we do have Real Steep coming this weekend. unless something happens. And we also have Après Steep every single week, so we'll be back next Wednesday with another show and hopefully another topic.
Lost my marbles again? Brother, I never found them in the first place. Also, be sure to wrap up your submissions for TFG Backcountry Brawl. Those entries are due by May 2nd, wrapping up this weekend. Also, be sure to subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. Go give us a follow over on Instagram at NickandMitchYT. You can check out the website for all of your TFG rules and submission info. That's nickandmitch.com. And Mitch, I believe you have some shout outs to deliver to our members.
Yes, again, a huge thank you to our members, our executive producer, Bone Crusher 2D, our co-producers, It's the Mort and my mom, and then our fans and Fans Plus. Right now, as soon as this finishes, we're recording our members only video that should be going up soon, as soon as I get it done. So within the week, it'll be up. You also get Après Steep 1 day early, again, once I upload it, and a ton of cool other perks. So if you want to see what those are, you can hit the join button down below.
Yeah, I am all kinds of fired up today. I haven't had anything to drink. Nothing is in my system. I am just going nuts. So this members video this month is going to be insane. Yeah, let's get after it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this week. We will catch you next Wednesday right here. Same place, same time. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see you on the slopes.